Good day. Our lesson for today is all about money, money supply, central bank and monetary policies. Let's start. Our objectives for today is, first discuss the function of money, money supply, and central bank. Second, explain the monetary policies and their limitations. What is the use of money? Money is used as, first, medium of exchange, second, unit of account, and lastly, store of value. A medium of exchange is an intermediary instrument or system used to facilitate the sale, purchase, or trade of goods between parties. For example, you are going to buy a bread. You will give them money and they will give you bread. One of the most important characteristics of money is that it serves as a unit of account. A unit of account is something that can be used to value goods and services, record debts, and make calculations. In other words, it's a measurement for value. A store of value is essentially an asset, commodity, or currency that can be saved, retrieved, and exchanged in the future without deteriorating in value. Next, let's tackle what is the function of money supply. Let's define money supply. Money supply refers to the total volume of currency held by the public at a particular point in time. There are several ways to define money, but standard measures usually include currency in circulation and demand deposits. The amount of money in the economy. There are three measures of money supply: M1, M2, and M3. M1 is currency in circulation, travelers' checks, and checking accounts or other accounts upon which checks can be written. M2 includes M1, plus savings accounts, time deposits under $100,000, such as certificates of deposit, and funds in retail money market mutual funds. M3 includes M2 plus time deposits over $100,000, balances in institutional money funds, repurchase liabilities issued by depository institutions. Now we know what is money supply and its function. Where does money supply come from? You are right. Money supply come from the central bank. The central banks of all countries are empowered to issue currency and, therefore, the central bank is the primary source of money supply in all countries. In effect, high-powered money issued by monetary authorities is the source of all other forms of money. So what is central bank? A central bank is a public institution that manages the currency of a country or group of countries and controls the money supply, literally, the amount of money in circulation. The main objective of many central banks is price stability. The functions of a central bank can be discussed as follows: 1. Currency regulator or bank of issue. 2. Bank to the government. 3. Custodian of cash reserves. 4. Custodian of international currency. 5. Lender of last resort. 6. Clearinghouse for transfer and settlement. 7. Controller of credit. 8. Protecting depositors' interests. Currency regulator or bank of issue. Central banks possess the exclusive right to manufacture notes in an economy. All the central banks across the world are involved in issuing notes to the economy. This is one of the most important functions of the central bank in an economy, and due to this the central bank is also known as the bank of issue. Bank to the government. One of the important functions of the central bank is to act as the bank to the government. The central bank accepts deposits and issues funds to the government. It is also involved in making and receiving payments for the government. Central banks also offer short-term loans to the government in order to recover from bad phases in the economy. Custodian of cash reserves. It is a practice of the commercial banks of a country to keep a part of their cash balances in the form of deposits with the central bank. The commercial banks can draw that balance when the requirement for cash is high and pay back the same when there is less requirement of cash. Custodian of international currency. An important function of the central bank is to maintain a minimum balance of foreign currency. The purpose of maintaining such a balance is to manage sudden or emergency requirements of foreign reserves and also to overcome any adverse deficits of balance of payments. Lender of last resort. The central bank acts as a lender of last resort by providing money to its member banks in times of cash crunch. It performs this function by providing loans against securities, treasury bills, and also by rediscounting bills. This is regarded as one of the most crucial functions of the central bank, wherein it helps in protecting the financial structure of the economy from collapsing. Clearinghouse for transfer and settlement. Central bank acts as a clearinghouse of the commercial banks and helps in settling of mutual indebtedness of the commercial banks. In a clearinghouse, the representatives of different banks meet and settle the interbank payments. Controller of credit. Central banks also function as the controller of credit in the economy. It happens that commercial banks create a lot of credit in the economy that increases the inflation. Protecting depositors' interests. Central bank also needs to keep an eye on the functioning of the commercial banks in order to protect the interests of depositors. Now that we already know the function of money, money supply and central bank, let us proceed to the monetary policies implemented by the central bank.
Monetary policy refers to the use of monetary instruments under the control of the central bank to regulate magnitudes such as interest rates, money supply, and availability of credit with a view to achieving the ultimate objective of economic policy. Expansionary policy and contractionary policy. Expansionary monetary policy is when a central bank uses its tools to stimulate the economy. That increases the money supply, lowers interest rates, and increases demand. It boosts economic growth. It lowers the value of the currency, thereby decreasing the exchange rate. Contractionary monetary policy is driven by increases in the various base interest rates controlled by modern central banks or other means producing growth in the money supply. The goal is to reduce inflation by limiting the amount of active money circulating in the economy.
That is all for today. Hope you learn a lot. Bye.